Welcome to Intake's first ever review with Intake. Guys, today we have a fun one for you. It's for the first half of 2024. And in this year, we have seen not only year-over-year growth, but we're projected to finish the year out at 300%. First off, thank you to every single one of our supporters here. Speaking of supporters, we have doubled our followers on Instagram, so welcome to the family. And that's equated to hundreds of thousands of orders. Guys, I also want to mention that down below, you'll see a link to our brand new Facebook community group for those that are looking for tips and tricks on Intake. And if you're looking for a specific part of the video, we'll have timestamps below for your convenience. Let's talk about the top creators for the first half of 2024, and we're gonna start with yours truly, Cycle with David. Guys, I was in your exact same shoes, trying on Intake for the very first time, and absolutely fell in love with the product and what it did with my deviated septum, to the point where I am now a part of the company. So I guess this is a welcome aboard video as well, and I'm so happy to be here to spread the awareness of what nasal breathing can offer. Other creators that I want to go over are Nick Luciano. Just like me, he has a deviated septum, so he understands the value of breathing better with Intake. Not just that, he has over 7 million followers across all his platforms, and he still continues to use Intake. Also, Sean Andrews, which did not the most scientific test, but it was nonetheless a test comparing what it was like to do an exercise with Intake and without Intake, proving that Intake can give you an edge, even if it's a small one. And we've also gone international with Nutrióloga Silvana from Mexico. In her video that garnished over 25 million views, she didn't say a single word, which goes to show you that better breathing is a universal language. And that's just a few of the notable influencers that have endorsed Intake, not to mention some of the celebrities like Logan Paul and Chris Williams that have been seen wearing Intake. Moving on to the next section, let's talk about Intake in blogs and the news. Starting with Mark and Kelly. Not only did we make their phenomenal show, but we've also made it twice, and it turns out we're actually part of their highlight video promoting better sleeping at night. And guys, I can't tell you just enough. If you haven't seen that episode, definitely give it a watch. Mark talks about how he puts on mouth tape and Intake breathing to breathe so much better at night. And in that episode, Kelly did mention how the nighttime routine look may not be the most desirable or sexy, according to her. But then again, nobody really sees you when you're sleeping. Guys, we were featured in Men's Health of their 7 top anti-snoring devices of 2024. Also, some honorable mentions like Brain Health Hawaii and Empowered Sleep have shared Intake breathing with their clients and advocated for nasal breathing, and have even incorporated it into their practices. So next, I want to talk about some of our featured users like Dr. Karen Parker Davison, which is doing a paper on her son's baseball team showing how the 6 different sizes affects nasal resistance through rhinometry. Stay tuned for Dr. Davison's results. And one thing she shared with me is that one size does not fit all. And another featured user, Victor Thorup, an Olympic speed skater, showed in a video his results over an extended period of time of what his snoring levels were without Intake breathing, and then the benefits and improvement while using Intake breathing. I'll link the video down below. And now on to the Q&A section. First being, can kids wear Intake? Short answer, absolutely. We even offer an S1 size, which is outside of the starter kit. And here's even a video of Ava, a juniors disc golf champion, wearing it. Another common question we get is, will this make my nose bigger? Well, I can tell you from personal experience, absolutely not, as I wear Intake all the time. Actually, our founder, Alex, has been wearing Intake since the inception of it, over 5 years ago, and it's safe to say, via pictures, his nose still looks the same. However, it does make your nose bigger while using Intake, allowing you to breathe better. But once it's off, your nose goes back to exactly the way it was before. Now, let's talk about the difference between the metal and the adhesive tabs and the magnets in the bands. The bands will always be reusable. The tabs themselves are disposable and generate less waste than our competitors. Are we latex free? Absolutely. Everything you receive from Intake will be latex free and also hypoallergenic. And for those of you that made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and definitely stay tuned on social media. Join our Facebook group if you want to be on the in on new product releases. We may have a few in the pipeline, potentially a few colors, potentially a few new products, but we'll see. Stay tuned. And I also want to mention, because of our explosive growth, we have experienced copycat websites and people trying to scam the Intake brand. So as always, remember, make sure you buy from intakebreathing.com or through Amazon. And speaking of which, if you've purchased through Amazon, please leave us your feedback there. We always appreciate and read every single review. And guys, that is a wrap for the very first recap video with Intake Breathing. Stay tuned for our next one.